Yeah, what's up? Somebody asked me how much I made on deployment, right? So, if you want to know how much money you're gonna make on deployment, it's really not a simple cut and dry answer, because all deployments ain't the same, and all deployments ain't in the same area, and all deployments, and it depends on your duty station, like where's the location of your duty station, and what type of a deployment is it. Cause you got like debts, and then you got detachments, and you got like deployments. So I was on a deployment on an aircraft carrier in San Diego. So the amount I would make there is not the same amount I would make on the East Coast. So I'm a West Coast sailor, and the reason is because I'm an E5 and I get paid BH, and on the West Coast, BH, well, at least in California, in my area, it's like for single sailors, it's like 2,300, and for married sailors, it's like 26, a little over 2,600. But there's a lot of little factors that go into it. Now, East Coast sailors, their BH isn't that much because their cost of living isn't as much, but they more than likely probably get more bang for their buck than we do on the West Coast, especially when you're single. So, uh, so in my situation, and also depends on your rank, right? So if you're E1, you don't make no money. E2s don't make no money. E3s don't make no money. Really, nobody really makes money until you make like chief or something, or you're an officer. You know what I'm saying? But we can save up a decent amount if you're at least getting, especially if you're getting BH. But you got to make the best of your situation. I was 31 when I joined, so I already had like bills and debt that I stacked up. Versus like a younger sailor who's coming in with no debt other than a phone, maybe a car. Hopefully, you bought the car cash. So, all you gotta do is worry about insurance. But I didn't necessarily save any money because I was on deployment and I was going through a divorce. But if I wasn't going through a divorce, I would have been making a little over like $5K a month, and then I would have had like my car payment or whatever. So we went on deployment for maybe like 8-9 months. So I mean, if you factor that in, what's that? 45K in 9 months. That's if you didn't spend no money or didn't have any bills, which I would have had bills anyway. So I probably would have walked away with like a little over 30 grand, 35K maybe, in that time frame. But that's me factoring in BH and my regular pay. Someone who doesn't get BH, they can only just save their check. So they pretty much only have a phone bill or whatever. But if you are making BH or whatever, single sailor, and y'all hit ports, you're gonna want to go get a hotel, especially if they allow y'all to get overnight liberty. And you're gonna want to do overnight liberty, and you're not gonna care how much the room is a night. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not gonna want to sleep on that ship. You're just not gonna want to. The only time you're gonna sleep on that ship is if you just so happen to have duty, and you will know if you're gonna have duty or not, because it's broken up into duty sections. Now, depending on my ship, we got 8 duty sections. But if you're like on a small boy, you probably got like 3 or 4 duty sections. I don't really know, because I'm assuming because they don't have the amount of people, But I never been on a small boy, so I don't know. But because you got DDGs, LHDs. It's a bunch of different types. And then you got subs out there. I don't know how the subs really work. I don't know. From what I hear, they do 6 on, 6 off, but I don't know if they even do ports. I really don't know. But Yeah, so if you like pull up the pay chart of 2022, then you can kind of factor in like taxes, your rank, and then taxes, well, after taxes or whatever. CPay. Oh, you also got to factor in CPay. I'm very new to the ship. I'm not even at 2 years yet, and so my CPay is only $80, but it started at 50. So sometime this year it should double, and I'll be like at 160. But if you're new to the ship, CPay is just whatever. Like how I would just put it to, you won't even notice it. You know what I'm saying? On top of that, you are more than likely probably is partially taxed. So, but me in my case, I didn't make any money because I was going through. I had to pay my wife at the time, and I was paying an attorney. That's why I really didn't save. That those attorney fees got very costly. You know, the retainer. You know, if you have like a retainer, and a retainer is basically, there's a pot of money that they just pull from, and if it gets, you know, they pull from a certain amount of month, and then each month, whatever they pull from, you just gotta replace it. So I had some costly attorney fees. Very costly. So at the tail end, I actually saved probably like $3 or $4 grand. You know, because the attorney fees got less and less as time went on, so I was able to like save a little more here and there. So at the end of the deployment, I probably had like $9 grand in my account. But I probably would have had more, because then I had I went on emergency leave in the middle of the deployment. My brother had passed away, so I had to fly back to Florida. And the Navy, they're only gonna, well, I'll say that for another video. I'll make a passport video. But yeah, so depending on your location and all that, it's gonna determine the money you have to pay and stuff like that. But yeah, so pretty much that will factor in how much you're gonna rank in on deployment. It's gonna be your CPay and how much CPay you actually have. What is your budget? Do you have debt that you need to take care of? What's your rank and how much you're getting paid? How much you're getting paid, and if you got BAH, and all of those are gonna factor into how much you save on deployment. And then, you know, port visits. My ship, we did like 9 months of deployment and only spent 12 days on land because of the whole COVID situation. So everywhere we went, we would only spend like 4 days. And when I say everywhere we went, we didn't really go everywhere. We went to Japan. We didn't, but there was no overnight liberty there, because you can only stay on base. For some reason, they got like the best Popeyes chicken ever. I'm like, Americans need to learn something about. They were just on point, put it like that. The Popeyes chicken in America isn't bad, but in Japan on base, for some reason, those ladies were just on point, and they didn't get the order wrong. You didn't have to wait You didn't have to wait forever to get your chicken. It was just on point. It was the best. We did Japan and we did Guam twice. And so I didn't do Guam. Well, I did Guam the second time because of the emergency leave, but I was only there for 2 days of their visit there. I flew in. So the day I flew in and the day after, you know, so it was like a day and a half really. But yeah, so I guess I got somewhat of a break when I took my emergency leave, because I was gone for like 30 days. So that ate a big hole in my pocket. And I'll tell you why in another video. But anyway, those are the factors of saving money on deployment and how much you're going to save and if you're going to save. And I'll see you on the next video.